Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to the Marriage is Tougher Than Woodpecker Lips podcast. This is Bryan, joined by my co-host, Paul. We'd like to welcome you to a community meant for the men of the world to share their thoughts and perspectives on marriage. We can learn from each other's experiences and help each other be better husbands. This week on the pod, we want to talk to you about the path of a prayer answered.
Before we get all the way into it, we would just like to welcome you to the pod. If this is your first time, welcome. If you've been rocking with us for a while, we appreciate you. Welcome back. If you'd like to go deeper on this conversation, you can just search Marriage is Tougher on any social media channel and leave us a DM there, or you can go to marriageisttougher.com, click contact info, fill out the form, let us know what you feel, or if you'd like to be a guest, fill out that same form with your information. We really appreciate you spending time with us and rocking with us. All right, let's get into the show.
Right. So, man, the path of a prayer answered. That story you told me got me spinning real quick, thinking about the amount of prayer I've been doing for my marriage. If I'm being transparent, we're struggling with an issue right now. And I had just really been fully made cognizant of the fact that in my prayer, I wasn't paying attention to what that path to healing would look like. And what I'm realizing now is I'm kind of being drugged through the mud. And I see it now as a necessary path. But man, if I had the option not to go through it, would I try?
Right. That is never the favorite
No,
at all.
no. But, it's healing is hard, right? Like if I were to break a bone, I don't get healed without pain, right? I remember, what was it, 2011, fractured my ankle playing football. And to this day, I still feel some of the pain from that, even though my ankle's technically fully healed, right? Like there's scar tissue. And as I'm told, sometimes that can move around a little bit and just out of nowhere, I'm just walking. It's like, ooh, what is that? So thinking on those terms, I'm like, man, we're going to inevitably solve this. I truly believe this, right? We're gonna solve this issue that we've got right now. But there can still be times in the future where we may experience that scar tissue, right? Let's say we get into a moment of contention somehow, and one or the other decides to bring up the past, right? Or we see signs of something resurfacing and it brings back the memories of what we're going through right now, right? But true to the topic, the path of a prayer answered, man, beware what you ask for.
Man, that is 100% because the the Lord is very kind. And
Mm,
if you're asking with a pure heart and you're ready for what you're asking for, He'll give it to you. And so, but the wonderful part of when you ask for growth is, well, when you think about growth, right? If you think of a plant or a seed, it starts buried with no light, no nothing, just soggy ground. And it has to fight through the ground to get a little bit of light. And when it gets the light, then it bursts through. And even that is just a seedling sapling, super vulnerable until it grows to whatever it is. So there is a process that takes time, and we want everything to be quick and fast.
right.
A process that takes time, that's messy, that's dirty, that's going to take some effort on our part to get it to where it needs to be. And then even when we get a little bit of progress, just know that's not the end and that we're constantly growing, and you're constantly growing. The seed just keeps growing as it busts out until it fully germinates and fully grows into what it's supposed to be. And even then, once it's fully grown, then some dead things fall off for it to grow more. and all those things. So if we think about the metaphors, the agricultural metaphors, especially that Jesus used, it was all about time, seasons. Nothing was, it's going to happen right now. But yes, did he make some things happen right now? Yes, because he had to show the kingdom of heaven on earth and that we have access to that. But generally, what he was talking about was time. It was going to take time. It's going to take some fortitude, some wherewithal, some unction, some chutzpah to stand and get through what we have to get through. And it's not always fun, and it's definitely not clean. Well, we
Yeah.
want to clean. This is going to do. It's going to look great. It's going to be done exactly what we need. Not remembering the mud that we have to come through and the dirt that we have to get off. Have to puncture through to get where we need to go.
Yeah. I'm sitting here thinking, what is my obsession to a shortcut, right? Like, and I see it everywhere, um, right? Like, my son wants to be able to throw the football 30 yards. He's not even 7 yet. It's like, bro, what are you doing? There's a process to this, right? Um, at our age, we know there's a process to this. There's a process to everything. And I still find myself getting blinded by what's the quick way to get to it.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
yeah.
go ahead,
The
man.
the
I'm
the
mad at myself.
the quick way is it's selfish. Really, that's what it is. It's self-focused. It's how can I get through this the fastest and not have to deal with it. It's not wanting to deal with the pain. It's not wanting to grow, really. Like it's wanting the result without wanting the process. Um, and we forget that how we stand is based on the level of effort we put to get through something, right? We know that the Lord comes through because we've had experience of him coming through, right? We know that a chair works because we've had experience with sitting on chairs that don't collapse, right? So there's these things that we have to do over and over and experience and experience. And even though it's different, it's the same, right? It's something new, a challenge we haven't gotten. But to get the result that we want to last, we have to put in some sort of time and effort to have the foundation for it to last. If it's quick, it could crumble at any time. But if you put in that time and lay that foundation, when something pushes back on that, like you said, if someone brings something up from the past, whatever, but we've got through this, right? Because of X, Y, and Z. Or just the work that we put in will not even allow someone to bring up the past because it's almost like an untouchable thing because we both know the work we put together. I'm not even going to bring that up because it's not even a question that, you love me, you're with me, you're for me because we went through this together. So it's not even like, why would I even bring that up? Because that's now a foundational part of our relationship. Like that's blossomed into something. So for me to bring that up would be wild.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. We need to have a real conversation here. As I shared with you, I put a real concern on the table in my marriage, right? Um, we in my marriage have been through previous concerns, and they've been typically in the other direction, right? She has a concern about our marriage or something I'm doing, something I'm not doing, what have you. I am good at, I'm going to say this in this order intentionally. I am good at expecting grace and I am good at asking for grace. I have not been so good at offering grace.
That is a revelation.
Mm,
Like that's the foundation of starting. But this also is a place of you now learning what that looks like.
Yeah, and I'm back in the mud yet again.
Yeah, I mean, not the first time, but the first time you really do something and you wanna do it well, you see all the places where you've missed it, even if you've done it before, right? Like, say you're, uh, cooking a recipe, right? "Alright, I'm cooking spaghetti. Alright, fine. Done that before." Pot, sauce, noodles, meat, spices, blah, blah, blah. But then it's like, oh, I've tasted this a specific way somewhere. I want to do it like this. So now your recipe meticulously looking through, man, I never knew they did that. Oh, they're using fire roasted potato or tomatoes instead of regular tomatoes. Oh, and they blend them in the sauce instead of just throwing them in there. Oh, they use this certain type of pasta. Right, okay, they brown the meat on this and they add, you know oh, I didn't even know why would they add cinnamon to this? And that's what that missing thing is, right? There's things that we never see when we're fully dialed in trying to do something a specific way and to the best of our ability. So though you've given grace before, it could feel different when you're like, I really know I need to give grace now. And now it's like, okay, these are you wanna give grace, like, okay, this is what grace looks like. And it's like, remember the grace that you've gotten. This is what it feels like on the other side.
Yeah,
It's like all these things like, okay, all right, I'm taking it. Not that it feels good. You said
right.
back in the mud, absolutely. Just face splattered mud right now, right? Car driving by, splattering it all on
Yeah,
your face. Like
all
that's
that.
where we're at. But the recognition and the want to give it is where you grow. And this is the first time, so it's going to feel different. But from here on out, one, you'll have a greater appreciation when grace is granted to you. But two, it won't be hard the next time to give this level of grace again. And the Lord gives us this level of grace all the time. So if we're his sons, then we have to give grace just like that.
Yeah. Yeesh. Man, that hit me hard just a couple minutes ago. I can't lie. Um, and I feel like I have failed up till now to be that grace-giving husband I'm supposed to be. Um, and so let me ask you this, because it begs the question: we are supposed to offer grace, and let's say somehow things don't go the way that either I see them going, would like them to go, right? Like if there is at some point deal breaker, right? Am I still supposed to stand on grace? Right? Am I supposed to still look for an avenue to repair? You know what I'm saying? Like I guess I'm mindful that people don't always make it, right? I don't think
Yeah.
that's my situation. I'm just saying for those who are followers who've been through the mud, have come out on the other side, and somehow still end up in that dreaded D word, right? I guess what's the limit for grace? If see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Relating
do
it to the
see what
grace
you're
that we
saying. And I know as we hear or try a concept and understand something new for the first time, it's now we're rabbit trailing, right? Like,
yeah,
okay, this is grace. How far down is this going? Um, at the end of the day, this is you could see it as a cheat answer, a cop out answer. It's really what is the Lord telling you, right? Because there are some couples, right? They go through things and they stay together. Well, other couples will go through the same thing and they will divorce, right? And it's like, okay, what is the difference? The difference is the level of what you feel the Lord is saying. We had um, one of the guys at our church that um, recently passed away, or it's been a little over a year in a motorcycle accident, but he was, and this is common knowledge, so it's not anything. Him and his wife were together. She cheated on him. And he stayed with her, and it became part of their testimony, right? And so, but obviously there are multiple, and they're both believers, they're both in church, blah blah blah, right? But people make mistakes, they fall into sin, those type of things. Um, well, many people, as we know, if they get cheated on, they divorce, right? So it's, what level of grace is God calling you to operate in at that moment? Um, that's really what the answer is. So you can't really rabbit trail because that's all hypothetical, and you don't
Right.
know what that's going to be. And you can hypothetically say one thing and act a totally different way when that situation comes.
Yep.
So
Okay. Yeah. Um, I
you said okay.
Yeah. Well, because I think this conversation is helping me shape my prayers,
Hmm.
right? I led with, "Hey, beware what you ask for," right? Um, and I think being cognizant of that, right? Like, I'll be asking for the Lord to prepare me for what's
Hmm.
to come, right?
That's
Prepare
good.
me for this inevitable mud and show me how to get clean, right? Show me how to stay clean. Show me how to more quickly get clean when I inevitably hit that dirt again, dust myself off, right? Man,
I'm thinking, show me how to be in the mud well,
mm,
right? Because if you think about, right, so say it's raining on a dirt road, you have to change your tire, right? Inevitably, you're going to get muddy, but you still need the tire change.
right,
And people may drive by, you may get mud on you some more, but you have a goal. You need to get this tire changed. You need to make sure it's on correctly so that you don't get in an accident when you drive away.
right.
So you will inevitably be muddy. It will take work. It's not your favorite, but it needs done. So how are we muddy well? How do we see him in the mud? How do we walk with him in the mud? And then when it's time to be clean, how do we clean well? Right? We still want to get to the clean part, right?
Yeah.
And not just a you, but a we, like in general. I was like tracking with it now. Then I felt that and I was like, oh gosh, not the mud well.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
I was almost getting there because I thought about, man, there's times when, you know, you fall off the horse, right? You get dusty and you wanna brush yourself off, but there's still dirt on you even though you brushed yourself off, right? And I was kinda likening it to, football, right? You fall down, you got grass stains, you still gotta play the game,
right.
right? Your jersey don't get washed till after the game, and with those grass stains, you can either win or lose,
That's good.
right? So
That's really good.
it's really about the choices that we're making to see it through. Okay. I mean, talk about being convicted, bro.
It'd
Yikes.
be like that sometimes. It really does.
Oh man. 7 a.m. on a Saturday, getting convicted by the Lord. Why not? I'm here for it.
100%. That's why we're here, right?
Yeah. Do this work.
That's it. I don't know if you have anything else,
I
but
don't. I was about to ask, is there anything else you see that I might be missing? Um,
no, I think that was it. No timeline for the mud, but still look for what what you have to learn while you're in the mud,
Thank you for
because
bringing that up.
then you'll be end up being muddy again for no reason, right? If I go with the tire analogy, right? I try to put it on real quick. I don't tighten all the bolts. I go down the road, half mile down, you feel in the car wobbly, you have to get out again. You're already dirty, you just got your interior dirty again. Going back in the trunk, get everything out again, and now you're still out there and you've only made it a half mile down the road. Make sure you're learning what you need to learn and doing what you need to do while you're working through and getting to wherever the Lord is having you get, or your prayers are being prayed through.
Yeah. And I've got one last thing to finish this conversation up with, and that's around sitting in love while you're in the dirt, right? Like I still need to display love for my wife, right? That love doesn't go away; it's still there. Um, so I'm asking you, as a husband, how do we best sit in love in the mud?
Um, Love and grace go hand to hand in the fact that love is sacrifice. So, how do we display love? We continue to die to ourselves and our emotions and what we think should happen. And if something doesn't go that wrong, we're not jumping in or jumping on. We're trying to be right as a husband. One of our main goals is to make sure that, or as a man, one of our main goals is that everyone around us feels safe to be who they are. Right. So if we're showing love to our wives, even though we're muddy, we have to ensure that they still get the love that they deserve, meaning we're still sacrificing for them. That means if there is a smart comment given, we sacrifice our offense, not our offense in a way that we don't address it, but our offense to clap back.
Got you.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Right? If things aren't going our way, we're not now, man, I'm praying for this thing and it's hard. And now this is now making everything harder. Like I'm remembering the struggle and then putting that on specific situations. So we're praying for love, we're being stretched in love, and we're sacrificing our right to be offended as we're moving through this space. And I think that's the way, remember, we're not wrestling against our wives, right? We're wrestling against the principalities and the powers or the situations, right? We're not against our wives, we're against the situations.
Yeah.
So let's focus on the situations, not on our wives. So when we look at it that way, we're both trying to get past this. We're both trying to champion this. So if, she gives a smart comment or says something that, has you in your feelings, pause, reflect, and then still be the man of integrity that you are. Show love by putting those things away and then being kind, right?
Mhm. Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah. That was, I think, the appropriate way to end this. But it was also something I needed to hear. So again, thank you.
No problem. All right. As we wrap this up, this one's a good one. I think if you know anyone that's going through the mud, praying for something to happen, going through a situation where the end doesn't seem near, share this with them. If you have any questions or comments, hit us up, search Marriage is Tougher on any social media platform. And also go to marriagestougher.com, click the contact form, and let us know how you feel. If you want to be a guest, either to talk more about this or a different topic, leave your contact information, what you'd like to talk about there, and we'll reach back out to you. We really appreciate you making it through a full episode. We love you, and we want all of us. Again, this is a community meant to help the man of the world be better husbands. So we appreciate that, and until next time, we'll chat later.
Peace.